Alberta has declared September 30th Truth and Reconciliation Day. It will be a day where we join people from coast to coast in remembrance and education about the terrible experience of the Indian residential school system in Canada. It's also, and has been for some time, Orange Shirt Day, where we pause to remember the lives lost and those who survived the terrible injustice of the Indian residential school system. Rick, I know you've been working with First Nations communities and Indian residential school survivors across the province over the past many difficult months. What have you been hearing from them?
What I'm hearing is they're so glad that we are recognizing this and acknowledging it, and it gives them a chance to have that hope and healing so that they can start down that path of a true reconciliation. And that's what this is about. You've heard me talk before with my good friend who was on the commissioner for the Truth and Reconciliation, Dr. Wilton Littlechild, that we have to have reconciliation. And I think that's what's so important about this government. We take action.
Speaking of reconciliation, with respect to the issue of the unmarked graves, of the trauma that people are reliving, what steps can be taken to help First Nations as they address those really difficult issues?
Well, one of the things we did this morning was right at the legislative grounds now on the southeast garden, we're starting a memorial garden there. And this is going to be so healing for the people. We planted a tree today, a healing tree, and they can watch it grow and we'll add on to the garden. And as we work through the next year, we're going to be meeting with Indigenous groups to see what they feel we should do there. Should we do a memorial? How do we honor the children that haven't come home?
Rick, I know there's also actions that have been taken to work with First Nations communities on researching the lost graves and supporting people who are reliving the trauma of their experience.
Right away, we took action when the news of the children's graves came up, and we started what we call our community research grant. And we allowed the Indigenous communities to be the drivers on this. We're just the passenger on the bus. We came up with $8 million, about $150,000 per community, for them to use how they see fit to possibly do the ground penetrating radar, or do circles with elders, learning circles, or research the kids that were gone missing. But it's totally up to them how they want to use it. And then also Alberta Health stepped up and put in a mental health grant of just about another $8 million to aid with some of the trauma that's going to come out of this, because there's a lot of people are going to have this trauma coming up now that they're remembering. They've put it in the back of their minds and now it's come forward again. So we're really working hard with the communities to make sure that we can help them through this trying time.
So we encourage all Albertans to pause, reflect in humility today about the experience of our First Nations, particularly the Indian residential school system, and to do some small gesture that can contribute to the spirit of reconciliation.